NDSU cheer team has a new head coach. She's Tammy Duursma, and she has 20 years of coaching experience, including 2 years as an assistant with the team from 2004 to 2006. The job was left in limbo following reports of physical and emotional abuse at the hands of former head coach Verona Winkler. We talked with the team several times in November of 2022 about those claims as part of a Valley News Live investigation. Winkler stepped down around the same time. Tryouts now are right around the corner, Friday, May 10th and Saturday, May 11th at the Benson Bunker Fieldhouse. Registration is available online. We have links posted to the free VNL News app.